So I thought I would have a stab at the curly hair tutorial as requested. Yeah. As you can see, I have an assistant who has been about the light, so anything could happen. It really could. But anyway, so weapons of choice. Ignore the toddler. You'll need a heat defense spray because this shit fries your hair. A salt spray if your hair is really clean. A sectioning clip or toggle or whatever, and some kind of brush item. So my hair, I washed it yesterday, but I have been slaving over a hot stove, so it's a bit like, it's got a bit of goo in it, so it's probably going to take reasonably well, but in my experience, the greasier your hair is, the better it will curl, because it just fly away so much. Also, if you've got really fine hair that is naturally straight, then if you put loads of product in it, then it will weigh it down, so you might need to kind of just have a bit of a play with it. The curling wand, Doombury, Alice, if this is the one it's the same one that you've got as I have, it will come with a Michael Jackson style heat-proof glove, which I have lost and have burns to prove it. So it's just, you know, suck it and see. I use mine at 190 normally, but that's because I've got really thick, coarse hair, and it won't curl otherwise. So this takes like 2 or 3 minutes to heat up, keep out of reach of children. Didn't think about this before I tried to section my hair, so duh. But yeah, so I normally like section half of it over this way. The reason I straighten it beforehand is because when I try and curl it after it's dried naturally, it just goes into some kind of fro style frisette, which doesn't look good on anyone. But yeah, so whack on your heat spray. You can't do this if your hair's wet because it will die, because your hair's really porous when it's wet, and if you try and heat treat it, then it will just get ruined. But yeah, so chuck some of your heat defense stuff on and just sort of slap it through a bit. And then once your curling wand is heated up, and it will tell you, it's got a little gauge thing on it, and it does get really hot, like it will burn the tops of your ears and shit, so just be careful. So what I normally do is just take like really small sections, and obviously the barrel is tapered, doesn't really sexual. The barrel's tapered, so if you want small curls, then you use the pointy end, and if you want bigger curls, if your hair's longer, then you can use the other end. In my case, because I've got quite short hair, I tend to just use the pointy end. Yeah, and then once you're up to heat, which I am-ish, you just wrap it round. Oh shit, wrap it round. Think about important things in the world, you know, peace, Israel, war in the Middle East, that kind of shit, for like 10 seconds, maybe a bit longer, and then let go, and then you have a curl. And then basically I just go round, there's no real method to this, I just go round and I look for the stuff, I just look for the bits that are straight, and then I just try and unstraighten them. It will be really corkscrewy to start with, and I anticipate that we're probably going to time lapse the rest of my head because it's boring as shit watching someone curl their hair. But just for like context and stuff, I'll just sort of show you what I'm doing the first few bits. I'm terrible at doing the back because I can't see it, and by the time I get to the back my arms ache and I'm bored, so I tend to just do a few big curls. But round the sides and the front, it always looks really good. And to be honest, I can only see that bit, so that's the bit I care about the most. I couldn't give a shit about the back of my head. Zach's trying to add sound effects, as you can see. So yeah, so do it like a section at a time, in small sections. Don't try and do one really big, I mean you can do one really big section, but you'll end up with big 50s curls, which is probably not what you're after. If you just want sort of waves, then this is probably a good way to start. And it will corkscrew up quite well to begin with, and then you can shake it out at the end. if you notice there's like steam or anything coming off your hair, then that's probably from the product that you've just put in it, so don't be too alarmed. But if you've not put product in it and it starts to steam, then you probably need to dry it off a little bit more, because as I said, if you use a curling towel on wet hair, it will absolutely ruin it. Not that these are particularly good for your hair anyway, but if you only use them like once a week, which is what I tend to do, then you should be okay. So I would probably call that about good enough for me, and then I would put on some salt spray. Zach dropped it, so I had to pick it up. Yeah, I'd probably put on some salt spray, like this, and then tip upside down, and then just shake my curls out a bit like this. And then if I was going out, I'd probably hairspray it, but this would be pretty much it. Like, I like the fact that it's a little bit mad. That might not be everyone's cup of tea, so you can use like an argan oil or something. Yeah, so hair. I think if anyone's got longer hair, you can do some really nice kind of like surfy beach stuff with it. Or you can just go for like mad curls, which is what I did. But yeah, definitely get some oil and look after your hair with some heat spray. And good luck.